Hi, this is Tim from Tiger Networks, and I'd like to talk to you about the NHS COVID-19 Test and Trace app. Now, the government has had a bit of a false start with this app, but they've recently re-released a new version of it, and anyone who knows me will know that I tend towards being heavily sceptical about anything that can track you or monitor you, and so I got into a discussion with people about this on Facebook on the Canterbury Residents group, and I weighed in with my opening gambit was that basically there's not a snowball's chance in hell I'm ever installing a government tracking app on my devices. And somebody pushed back a little bit and said, oh, it doesn't track you, it's really good. And we went round and round a bit, and I said to him, well, how do you know if you looked at the source code? And he said, well, actually, yes, I have. And it's on GitHub. So I took a look, and sure enough, if you go onto GitHub, you're looking for NHSX, and you've got the website here, you've got the Android app, you've got the public, the actual server backend, which uses Amazon Web Services, and there's also an iOS app down there somewhere. But basically, the whole thing is open source, and the source code is there, and you can look at it. So I spent some time taking a look and looked at some of the data transfer objects and things like that. Now, there's a lot of complexity in here, and I haven't looked at it in great depth, but I've been a software developer for a long time, and I can sort of get a sense of these things. And sure enough, the data that's being passed around in the system does appear to be anonymous, and it's not using your camera, it's not using your GPS, it's purely using Bluetooth to detect other phones nearby, using Bluetooth low energy beacons, and it's using random IDs for the phone, which appear to be changed every day. And so, like, someone else can't read your beacon and then track your phone, because tomorrow you'll have a different ID and they won't know what that is, and they won't be able to correlate. So the long and the short is that whoever's done this has actually done quite a good job of protecting your privacy and security. So and it's great that it's open source and we can look at the code, and that really inspires a lot of confidence. So well done, whoever was in charge of this. You made some good decisions here, and that has persuaded me that I can have confidence in this app, and it's not going to snitch me to the government. So one of my concerns was that you could get let's take a look at the app running while we're talking about it. So here is the app on my phone, and as you can see, it's active right now. When you set it up, you just have to enter the first part of your postcode. So I'm in Canterbury, so CT1, and it tells you what your risk level is. So we're at medium risk, and that's great. You can modify your behaviour there. My phone's gone to sleep. Hang on, let's just wake it up. There we go. And and we've gone into landscape. So this is great. You can modify your behaviour appropriately. So obviously, if you go to high risk, you want to be a lot more careful. And it's very, very clear that the app is active because there's this animated graphic here. Hang on, let me just turn it back into phone mode. There we go. Come on. Okay, and also importantly, you can turn it off at any time just by using the control at the bottom there, and it gives you the option to automatically turn back on in a certain time. So I'm going to see, don't remind me, I'm going to turn it right back on now, and yep, turn on, we know. Okay, so there we are, scanning again. Now, one of my concerns with this app is that I was going to be able to get a false positive, and it was going to tell me to self-isolate, and then I would have to self-isolate or risk a fine of £10,000. And so that was one of the things that made me really unhappy about using it. But having looked at the code, I now have very high confidence that the app can't actually dob you into the government. So even if it's telling you you're at risk and you don't self-isolate, there's no way this app can report you to the police or anything like that. So there you go. I wouldn't be running this if I had any worries about it at all, and I'm comfortable in recommending that you download and run this, because it has been done in a very sensible way that's sensitive to privacy and security, and it has to be that way really. It's the only sensible choice. So one of the things the app can do, and this will be particularly interesting if you're a business, is that you've got venue check-in. So as you're going around town or whatever, or if you've gone to the pub or something, you can use this little widget here to check into a venue, and this turns on a QR code reader. And if you're a business, you can create a QR code, and you can just scan that in. Visitors can scan that in, and that checks you into that venue. So that sort of then knows exactly where you are, and if other people have checked into that venue and have had a positive test, then you can get notified that you've been exposed. So if you are a business or a venue and you want people to be able to check in, I don't know what the rules are around this, because I don't have a venue, I'm just at home. But if we put in a email address here, and I'm blurring out my personal details because I don't want spammers contacting me, but okay, so we're going to get a verification code by email. Okay, here we go. I have the code in my email, and I don't think there's any need to conceal this because it will be a unique one-time code. So okay, and that's me. I don't think my name's a secret. Okay, so I think other. What is the name of your business? Right, so we're going to go with Tigra Networks. Tigra Networks. Where is the business? And the postcode is in there. And this will be blurred out because I don't want stalkers. And that's me. I'm responsible for it. Okay. Location user. Now submit your answers. Okay. And we need to check our email again for the poster. And I am finished. So now we just need to wait for the email. And there it is, it has arrived. It only took a few seconds, and that just opens up in a PDF file. Now I'm not gonna bother printing this out. I'm going to just put that on the screen of my mobile device here, and there's the app up and running. And then I can use the venue check-in tab, which is the purple one, first one down here. Okay, so we've clicked that, and the barcode reader comes up, and that's already read that. And the phone says, I don't know why the screen isn't updating, but that says successful check-in Tigra Networks, 3rd of October 2020, 1607. There we are, the screen's updated. And back to home. So that now knows where I am. And one of the downsides to this is that there's no venue checkout. So once you're in a venue, you're considered to be there until midnight that day, I believe. And so this is one of the negative aspects of the app, is that really people need to be able to check out, because if I go into a venue at 10 o'clock in the morning and leave at 11 o'clock, and then 8 o'clock that night somebody with coronavirus is in that venue, I'm going to be associated with that as a false positive. So that is one thing I don't like about it, and that really needs to be addressed by the authors. And in fact, if you look on GitHub, that is issue number 1 that's been registered by somebody. So if you look on GitHub, in fact, there's an issue number 1 logged against the Android app is to provide the ability to sign out of a venue, and it looks like it's a closed issue. There's a bit of discussion. I'm closing this, although the issue hasn't been addressed as described. I don't believe that this is being monitored by people that can actually affect development anyway. So it's unfortunate that they are not. There doesn't seem to be a way to deal with the issues, but nevertheless, it's good that the whole thing's been open sourced, and that there is scrutiny of the code. So that's a small negative with the app, and I think we just have to live with that for the moment. And so the nice thing about that is that there's a symptom checker there, which basically says if you've got a temperature and a cough. So it's not really rocket science. And you can also here enter your test results. And if you've had a test, and I haven't had a test personally, you will get a unique test code which you can enter into the box here. And then if you've had a positive result, then this the back end of the system then knows all the other phones that you've been in contact with, and it will send them notifications to let them know they've possibly been exposed. So, and this is all done in a way which preserves your anonymity, so there is absolutely no risk to you as a user. And so on that basis, it's a really good thing to it's the socially responsible thing to do, to download this app and use it. So that's my recommendation. I've been Tim from Tigra Networks. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.